my earbud. Hey.
Hi, Miss Mims. How are you today?
We have sound, and that is the best.
on the first go, and I turned down my overhead fan, so it's not going to be picked up on the microphone. We are firing on most of our cylinders today.
Oh God, yes we are. Yes, yes we are. Most of them, at least.
We'll never be at 100%. Sorry, our dear listeners. We'll never be at 100%.
So last night I got drunk.
Wait. Let me back up for a moment, just so everybody in the audience understands. So last night, for the first time in quite a long time, I got a few drunken messages from Miss Mims, and to be very honest, I was a little taken aback. I was like, "Oh, okay, girl, all right, you do you." So I was already tipsy too, but that's my normal Saturday, so I was not a big deal to me.
So we decided to stay in. We went to a bar just to see how crowded it was, and it was
crowded,
like Labor Day weekend. People apparently are doing staycations this year.
Aw, staycation.
So then we decided, well, let's just go home. We've got some liquor. So I had my husband makes a very good drink, all sorts of drinks. And when you asked what kind of drinks I was drinking, I said yes. Because at that point, I had 5 different drinks. I think I had just finished a very large, very dirty martini.
Yes, with blue cheese olives?
I know, they were out, just plain. But they were the big olives, It looked like
two little
testicles in my drink. But I watched Cruella.
How was that?
It was long. It's 2 hours long. Yeah. And like there's a lot of pathos and like feeling sorry for herself and all this kind of stuff that they could have just and her henchman. There's a backstory about the henchman. They could have just cut all of that out. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't watched it yet. I have not made peace with my Lord and Savior first. So
the Emmas are both fantastic.
Oh, well, of course I'm going to watch it because, I've since the 90s, I've had that Emma has been my everything. So when I first saw her in the trailer, I was like, dang it, I have to watch this movie.
So she is doing the role. My husband put it this way. I'm not going to take credit for this. She is doing the role everybody expected Meryl Streep to do in The Devil Wears Prada.
Ooh, Mr. Mims is
like it is ham and over the top and mean and vicious and not subtle at all.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So this is literally like the opposite of Nanny McPhee. her and Nanny McPhee are the two sisters that were broken apart right at birth and taken to different parts of England to be raised.
But it is beautiful. The movie is beautiful.
It looks beautiful.
Like the sets and the fashion. Like it is.
I already bought all the patterns that came out for it. I got those the first week. I was like, oh, okay, hey y'all, how y'all is?
Thank you, McCall's or Simplicity. Which one was it?
It was Simplicity this time.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I got super excited. I mean, I was literally like, I kind of like walked by and I was like, wait a minute. Did I just see what I thought I just saw? And I was like, oh, no. It's the dresses from the movie? Yes, please.
At least it wasn't Quixo. Like the KWIK, isn't it?
Those two. So let me just have a little sewing moment here with you.
Go ahead, because I'm learning.
Quixo drives me a little bit crazy because back in the day, they used to have lots of patterns. And I don't know if it's that they just stopped having relationships with stores, but now basically they have like one drawer of patterns at every Joann's. And But you go online and there's like all these other patterns, and I'm like, I don't understand Quixo. What are y'all doing? So that's my little soapbox about that. And
Do you like Quixo?
I mean, they're very simple. They're not nothing about them is complicated. The problem is that Quixo used to serve a purpose, right? So back in the day when sewing patterns were a little bit more complex, that they have served a purpose. But now they have easy patterns at every single pattern company, so it's not like you have to get Quixo.
Yeah. I'm making a few things, and I was like, I'm gonna start with Quixo.
Yeah. So if we're gonna rank what I call easy patterns, so Quixo is still the easiest. Generally, it's easy because they don't usually have garments that have linings in them, so you're only usually sewing one. Even easy garments that you buy under the Vogue patterns, there's almost always a lining to them because almost every Vogue dress has a lining.
Yeah.
And Simplicity and McCall's, they're kind of on the fence. Like some of their stuff has lining, some of it doesn't. But yeah, that's anytime I tell everybody that's asked me about learning how to sew, look for patterns that don't have linings first because you're going to make yourself crazy.
Okay.
If you sew a pattern with a lining for the first time, you're going because you're going to make it, and then you're going to go to the lining, and then you're going to say to yourself, I have to make the dress all over again in the lining. And then there's some crying, and then there's some screaming, and then you're going to be questioning like God and everything else that's happening because you're like, why would any person do this to themselves? I don't understand. So that's my advice to anybody out there that's learning how to sew garments. Like, start with garments that don't have linings first so that you can get that down.
That is good to know.
Yeah.
Because, I'm starting with boy clothes first, which is
crazy to me because those are harder. Okay. I'm just saying, boy. Actually, you know what, though? The good part about boy clothes, starting with boy clothes, is that there are a lot of female garments that do involve buttons. And one of the things is that when you're transitioning from certain types of female styles to others, some of them are very button heavy. And so if you've never really done that, it actually is good. So I actually think that's not a bad idea in hindsight right now. So yeah, because like I'll do button garments now, but it's like at this point, it's just because I've done a lot of boy shirts. So
yeah. So what one more thing, and then we'll get into this episode.
Yes.
What did you think of the end of All Stars? By the time this comes out, it will have been long enough that we could actually talk about it. So what did you think of Miss Kylie Sonique Love winning Drag Race All Stars?
I may have cried. I may have cried a lot because I love a good underdog story. I love a good for me. I mean, and I think this is probably more so since I lived in South Florida, right? I have so many trans friends now. And even though I know that, a lot of people, some people talked about it, but some people didn't. For a lot of them, they were looking at this show kind of like, it's nothing I can ever do. No matter how good I am, no matter how great I am, I can never do it. And so whatever RuPaul is thinking now, like whatever, hopefully he's really completely changed his tune. But for me, like, I thought about all of them so much because I got some talented friends down here that have gotten, the breast surgery, and they live as women. And so for me, I just kind of thought like, man, hopefully this is going to change the show forever. Between Kylie and Gottmik, like, and plus the thing is, especially in that dang country song that they did, nobody did it better than Kylie. Nobody. It was literally like, it might as well have been her music video.
I thought that Eureka was actually bad in that.
I didn't okay, so can we talk about that for a minute? Okay.
Yeah, of course. Why do you think I suggested we talk about this? So let's talk about it for a minute.
Number one, the outfit.
Yeah.
Which I was like, I mean, I get it. They pay a lot of money for these outfits, and they have to figure out some way to incorporate them in. But this was a very specific challenge.
But yeah, like are they're given what they're going to wait, like what the...
I know they got the theme. So but the thing is that if so, my head, this is all I thought, which is not a good thought. If she had a country themed outfit ready, but it wasn't as nice as this outfit that she paid a lot of money for, and if she got an outfit for free and part of the agreement was that you had to wear it on the show, she may have run out of time to show off this outfit that somebody made for her, in which case she only had 2 more options to show it off. So that's what I thought, number one. But then it was just, everything about it was weird. Like the way that she was moving around a lot, and like the way that she was kind of like tiptoeing around and stuff. It was just like there was like this weird like lack of confidence that I felt like.
Yeah. It was Kylie won. Kylie won the moment she did the flip, right? Like when she got tangled up and did the flip. But we just, my husband and I were like, well, she won. Like, I mean, there's nothing you could do.
I mean, I told my husband, I said, I realize that RuPaul's doing this final lip sync, and I said, but it's pretty clear that Kylie has won this. Like, I think it was like, it's once again, it's like, it's that thing that they're always talking about, right? That thing, that star power, that moment. And when they did that little music video, it was like all over it. It was like, oh, that's what they've been talking about this whole time.
I actually thought that Ginger was really high up on that music video, though.
No, I thought so too. I thought she came. For me, she was like second.
Let me tell you, I do not understand why Raja wore that purple velvet mess as her final look. It was ugly.
You know what I thought about
it was that? You know what? It was referential to 1985 grandmother white women apparel.
Well, no, you know what the thing is, and I got it, but I didn't get it. So for me,
I had that dress, by the way. I just didn't have the frill up top, and I cut a slit in it. I bought it at Marshall's for $5. Go.
The frills up top.
Were like ugly.
I think that was the thing, right? If she had just embellished it and just put on like some beautiful like jeweled appliques or something like that, it would have elevated it so much higher. But like it was almost as if all of those little things she had on there, it was like they were wrinkled and they were kind of like, it was just really weird looking.
Yeah.
The silhouette was lovely, but like it was just, that was very distracting.
Imagine how much better it would have looked had you have changed it to black, made it sparkly, and left the hair purple.
Or even a darker purple, right? Like even like almost like a midnighty purple.
Or lighter. Like one way or the other. Like go with a lilac.
I'm just not into that eggplant purple.
I like eggplant purple if it doesn't make you look like an eggplant. And it made her look like an eggplant. Right? Like, it was too much of it.
I hate you. I hate you so much right now. I mean, like I said, I felt like, you know what? Okay, this is the way that I was thinking about it, right? From my perspective, right? Me and Raja, we both sew our own costumes. We do all of that stuff.
Yes.
But as I was watching it, I was like, you know, this is the kind of dress that makes it look like you make your own dresses.
It's exactly right.
Right? There was like an element of elevation that wasn't quite there.
Her 2-minute dress or 1-minute dress looked better than that.
It looked more expensive.
Far more expensive. Far more glamorous, sweetie. Glamorous.
Well, that material was not helping either. She could have used a different type of purple.
Speaking of material that wasn't helping out, how about we get into this episode?
Boy, oh boy. This
is season 1, episode 22, Bachelor Suite.
I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. I'm Julia Sugarbakers. And that's Marjorie. Just so you will know, and your children will someday know, is the night The lights went out in Georgia. The lights went out. The lights went out. The lights went out. The lights went out. And that is the night. The lights went out in Georgia.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Well, now you do.
By the way, for all of you who have been with us, this is our final episode of the first season.
Woo!
And for any of our high school friends that are listening, yeah, we've done this. We committed to this. Because a lot of them were like, "What? You're not going to do all of it?" Yes, we are.
What high school friends do we still have? I've got one or two.
Know. I got the same. I have the same ones you have. I don't know.
I don't think they listen to this.
I think well, maybe a couple of them. I don't know. So let me just say, as this episode was halfway through, where I'm not going to give anything away yet, but do you remember the line in Soap Dish where the director is saying, "Poverty, depredation. We're trying to make a statement here, people, so let's not underline it. Let's just make it." And I was like, oh, this is what the underlining version of that is. Like, this was the underlining the statement. Right? Was it, because this is...
Hold on, wait. Which, are you getting season 2, episode 1 confused with this?
No.
Because you said poverty. That's season 2, episode 1.
No, I'm just quoting I'm quoting where he's talking about...
This is the rape episode.
Right.
The rape episode.
That's what I'm saying.
The rape episode.
I know what I'm quoting. What he says, like, let's not underline it. Let's just make it. But this show underlined it like 1,000 times. They underlined it. They put like 100 lines under this that said, "This is about rape."
So we're at Sugar Bakers, and the big chair is there again. This is
Charlene. I love it.
This is a throwaway episode yet again.
Yep.
Put at the end of the season because they did not think they would have another season.
However, we do get the enjoyment of enjoying another episode of Charlene's Drag Race, which I am very happy about. I'm very happy, honestly. And plus, I love that song. That's like one of my favorite 70s country songs.
Yeah, so Charlene singing into a magic marker and gaslighting Suzanne, saying she's not singing into a magic marker, but she's singing that magic marker.
That was actually kind of a weird moment because you're like, because it wasn't like Charlene was doing it in a funny way. She's like, "I wasn't doing that," and I was like, why is she acting so serious about this?
Because I don't know.
Sleeping single in a double bed. Well, if you've been there, you can only laugh about it because I've been there.
I had to explain to my husband who Tanya Tucker is.
What?
It turns out when you're from the Midwest, you don't listen to country music as a child.
You don't? What do you listen to?
I don't know. Every white and black person that I grew up with listened to country music. Like,
I looked at Galen and I was just like, "You do know it's like Tanya Tucker, right? Like, why are you not excited?" And he looked at me like, "What?" I'm like, okay. I'm sorry. It's just me. I'm sorry. I have to explain this to people all the time. I'm like, my original divas were country singers.
Pam Tillis, Reba McEntire,
Dolly, Barbara Mandrell, Crystal Gale.
Fucking Crystal Gale, that hair.
You better leave Crystal Gale alone. You know how I feel about her.
I know.
Don't start.
I'm not starting.
She was the heart of country.
The heart. Not Loretta Lynn. Not Dolly Parton.
Loretta Lynn was the tears of country.
Not Kathy Mateo.
Kathy Mateo was the bad genes of country. Kathy Mateo, the mom genes of country.
Not Mateo, Jesus Christ.
The mom genes of country. Kathy Mateo.
Not Shania Twain.
Okay. The Cindy Crawford of country. Give me some more.
Tammy Wynette.
Sammy Wynette, the guttural sounds of country.
Faith Hill.
Faith Hill, the angel of country.
We're done. So, Julia's looking for Maryjo. She's been working with Hence Winchester. What a name.
Right? Like,
What
I wonder,
a name.
Were we supposed to assume that he was rich off of, like, the Winchester
No, we were supposed to assume he was a rapist. Right off the bat.
Let's not underline it. Let's just make it.
Rapist. He is the rapist. The therapist.
What do they say? Wait. There's like a... But you know what, though?
He's the most successful contractor in Atlanta.
Yeah. But remember, before that, we had a little bit of... We had a little bit of a revisit on fat jokes.
No, that's after this.
It was after? I thought it was before this.
It's after this.
Oh.
They go through the most successful contractor in Atlanta, and then she said, I didn't say something, or they were talking to Charlene, and she's like, well, that's like Julia at the wedding. Oh no, because he's got the bumper sticker that says no fat chicks.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's where that I wrote it out of order in my notes. That's where that joke came into that.
Yes, and Julia said it's not a bride, it's a bride float about somebody she went to a wedding to. And she said if the whatever they're called had any style at all, they'd ride her in.
And then Julia has her own little gaslighting moment because she's like, I did not say that, Suzanne. But it's, once again, it's not like a joke. She says it in like a very serious, like, she really didn't say it kind of way. And I'm like, what's happening right now?
And Suzanne's like, I know she sings in magic markers. I know you do this. I don't know why y'all are lying to me.
I was like, it was like Alfred Hitchcock's Gaslight if it had been written by Tennessee Williams.
Is Gaslight an Alfred Hitchcock movie?
Yeah,
I didn't think it was.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Let's test Maim's knowledge of movies.
Oh Lord.
I know.
Let's test out that degree
I
in
thought it
media
was French.
studies.
No, that's the mustache. Sorry.
Let's test out Maim's degree in media studies. Oh yeah, it's Cukor. I thought it was Hitchcock. It was George Cukor.
Yeah.
I got that.
Look! Mims is right. It doesn't happen often enough anymore.
Especially on this stuff. I'm like, because the thing too is like I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh. Because of course, now I'm looking through here. Like,
yeah.
Oh.
Well, by the way, I only know because I watched it like 3 weeks ago, or parts of it 3 weeks ago, and didn't have the beginning with the Alfred Hitchcock.
Did you?
Parts of it, yeah. I can't. Some like I'm okay with some old movies, like anything with Katharine Hepburn in it. Just throw me in front of it, and I can, especially the comedies. I can just sit there. I can't watch her that old On Golden Pond or. What's the one? Look who's coming to dinner. Look who's here. Oh, no, she's marrying a black man. What is it called?
Guess who's coming to dinner?
That's right. The most boring. She's fantastic. Everybody else is just a stick in the mud.
This parent's guide, I didn't know that IMDb started doing this. It says, sex and nudity, none. Violence and gore, none. Profanity, none. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking, mild. They drink a little bit of wine.
Wait, Maryjo's here. Maryjo's here.
Why does she look so disheveled?
Well, because Hence is a man whore.
A man whore? They don't say that on the show, do they?
No, that's me. That's in my notes right here. Man whore, whore, man whore.
I was just like, wait, I don't remember Maryjo saying that at all. Well, I mean, technically he is that. And I think my favorite part of this was how embarrassed she was to keep getting all of these things set up. What do they call it? They call it, we're not building a bathroom, we're building a sex chamber.
Right, right.
And I was like, ew.
She had one of his ladies ask her for deodorant, And Charlene said you should never use another person's deodorant. There's all that
Bacteria can
off
get-
that ball.
The
Like,
ball. Ah!
that's
People
why
don't know. People don't know about the ball anymore because they don't make deodorant like that now.
They don't? Okay.
I don't think so.
Real talk. I don't wear deodorant because I'm allergic. So I have not worn deodorant about a decade or more.
Wow.
I live with the smell and move on with my life, and I apologize to those who are near me, but I don't do anything. Yeah. It breaks me out. Even breaks me out, makes me I've tried multiple different kinds. Please nobody, dear listeners, please nobody suggest anything for me to try because I won't.
That's just going to be a waste of a number of Twitter characters.
Yes, I the last one I tried was the native, and it worked for a bit, and then it like started getting itchy and red, and I was like, nope. I just no.
I didn't know that about you. That's great. Are you sensitive to any other products?
I'm sensitive to like fragrances. Some like fragrances they use in lotions and that kind of thing, and like dish detergent. It makes me stopped up and stuff. Yeah. So I'm okay with. I am pretty, aren't I? I'm okay with like colognes.
Okay.
But like if it's mostly the shit that's in like Gain and Tide and that kind of stuff that really just whatever they use in those, it just gets me.
Oh wait, my hubby actually has a problem with Tide as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
I use it's North Carolina born and bred, and if you guys want to sponsor us, I would love it. It's called Charlie Soap. It's like slogan is if you want to smell flowers, go outside. It is great. It has no smell, and it my laundry lasts longer, to be honest with you.
Oh, for real?
Like my clothes last longer. It's fantastic. I tried on a whim and I was like, oh, let me try this stuff. And then I was like, oh, this stuff's actually really good. And my like clothes are lasting a lot longer.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah, there's that.
So we should give them a plug in hopes that they'll sponsor us.
Yeah. North Carolina's own Charlie Soap. Find it at your local Lowe's Food. Or Whole Foods. They have it in Whole Foods too.
Oh, that's big time.
Oh, yeah. They probably have it down there in Whole Foods if you want to try it.
We just took the biggest like fork in the road just now.
So, Maryjo said he wants to put a mirror up with chains above the bed. He should use a funhouse mirror to make things look smaller. And like
Suzanne did not get that joke.
Well, from your perspective, it would just be his wallet. Wait, we just learned something very important.
What's that?
Because Maryjo needs Charlene to call Ted, and that her not Ted, JD.
JD. I was like, wait a minute.
Ted's got the kids. Her and JD still have not had sex, but they've had sex.
But they haven't had sex. We had a specific episode about them having sex, and the show has pretended as if that did not happen.
Well, that's because this is out of order. I don't know if you know this or not.
I know it's out of order, but I'm just saying. Like,
wait.
What?
Hence is sexually harassing Maryjo.
What?
He taps her on the chest when he talks to her, and sometimes the finger misses.
Oh man, this has turned into a serious episode.
He grabbed her ass.
But I thought that was just a love tap. Oh boy.
Oh, Vince is here.
I know that it's interesting, right? Like,
No, this episode's not really interesting.
No. I'm saying it's interesting. It's interesting in this way. Like, hear me out.
Okay, I'm hearing.
it's interesting in this strange parallel universe where things about sexual harassment and men like that, like we had to be so they were so careful back then, even though the guy was clearly sexually harassing her.
Yeah.
But we're still kind of like, well, let's not be too quick to talk about it yet.
He may not be sexually harassed. He could just be trying to have a good time.
Yeah. And then we get to see this man.
Yeah, this blonde rapist who looks like a rapist. Like
he looks like, yeah, he does. And I was like, once again, just like every other time where we get to hear about the men before we get to see them, I'm sitting here thinking, what are we gonna see? And then it's like, oh, that's what we. Great. And then Charlene and Suzanne are literally falling all over themselves about this person.
How great would it have been if, like, at some point in this horrible episode, if Hitch just looks at Maryjo and goes, Maryjo, I will not be ignored. All Glenn Close on her.
Like, literally. That would have...
Oh, God, Daniel, I will not be ignored. Anyway, so Julia, as Hens and Maryjo are leaving, say we keep our clients on a professional basis, and then he slaps her on the ass as he walks out the door.
Slaps her hard too, like not even like fun. It was just like, okay, dude, that's way too far.
So looking at this through the 2021, is that the year we're in now? Yes, lens. I think that she would have fired him. That they would no longer be.
That's what I thought too. I was like, that would have been it to me.
Like end of episode. Why are we even continuing on?
Yeah, I mean, like I just thought, based on Julia being the owner of the business, that was completely disrespectful, and that's
maybe they're gaslighting themselves.
Oh, if we had a good technology, we could play the Law and Order music right now.
Boom, boom! Is that what you meant?
Sure. That's sure.
Oh no! Maryjo's here! And like Hens couldn't find the stick shift and ripped her pants or her skirt open.
Ripped her skirt open. Her skirt open.
At least he didn't get through that real thick, marmy slip she was wearing.
You saw that
remember
too,
how you were mentioning lining earlier?
Yes.
That's not lining. That was a slip. That was.
See, that's how you so back in the day, that's how you could tell the difference between a cheap garment and an expensive garment. A cheap garment didn't have a lining, so you had to wear a slip. An expensive garment had the lining already in there.
So now we're at Maryjo, and JD's coming over with his kids.
Yeah.
We get to meet JD's kids,
who I love. Well, I love Bert. I love Bert.
Why do you like child actors?
I just do, especially 80s child actors, because there's such an innocence about them. All child actors now are so like, they're all like, I'm going to get a show on the Disney Channel after this guest appearance. But like back then, the kids were just like, I'm just a kid.
It's because now they're good actors. And back then, they weren't. Well, no, but they're better than what they were.
I mean, Bert's pretty good, actually, I thought. So extra today.
So there was one thing I noticed. He said, "Turn your heads so we can kiss," and his daughter said, "It's okay, we're used to that." Now my question is, they've never met Maryjo before. Who is he kissing?
Well, it may be from the mother.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't. Janet, is that her name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it might have been from Janet, honey, because we don't know a lot about what Janet gets up to when with Jane on the show.
That's true. She is at poker tonight.
Exactly. Poker.
So to tell you how much I love these kids, I skipped them completely
Aww.
and moved on to where Hence calls.
Why did you do that?
Because, so what I felt about these kids were that they were testing them out. That this is a early episode where they're testing people out on camera to see if they made the cut, right?
Right.
And they didn't. Because we never see these kids again.
Fine. I did think they were adorable, though.
I know you did. You love blonde white people.
No, I just like the little boy. I thought the Bert was hilarious. I didn't care about the other two kids, just Bert.
We just learned something, listeners. Maim's a racist.
What?
She only likes blonde white people.
What are you
I think she may be a Mormon.
I hate you.
Film at 11.
I hate you right now. I hate you right now. Hate you right now.
Where are we at? Oh, Hence calls and apologizes.
Crying, sending flowers.
Yeah, and he says his dog died.
Which Maryjo's like, I don't really remember him having a dog.
Well, he did have, but that's not what yeah. And JD puts his foot down and says, you're not going over there to help him. He's treated you like crap.
Yeah.
Was this an ultimatum? Yes, it is, Maryjo. Like the third time JD's put an ultimatum on her, right?
Yeah, he does that a lot, I've noticed.
I would have already broken up with him.
Yeah, I would. He likes to do a lot of those, like, hey, this is it. I'm like, I mean, you're kind of doing this a lot, buddy. Yeah.
I mean,
so
you ain't had sex with him yet.
nope.
He's putting ultimatums down.
Well, he did the ultimatum too for the sex. If you remember that on that other episode.
I remember.
He loves ultimatums.
He loves ultimatums. It's very masculine.
Red flag, Maryjo,
Yeah.
red flag.
So he leaves and forgets the kids.
Yes, he was so angry he left his children. I mean, he probably could have just left them for the night.
But he has an ultimatum. So they're broken up now, right? Like that's how ultimatums work. If it's a true ultimatum, they're done.
They're done. That's right. He can't come back and get them.
He can't come back and get them. So now she's got child labor.
I think what would be amazing is like
I'm
if
laughing
he had
at my own joke.
I know you are. If he had left the kids and then like Janet basically had to go and get the kids for Maryjo after because JD didn't want to get the kids because he didn't want to see her again, that would have been a much more like, farcical kind of way of looking at this. But that's me thinking too deeply about this.
So she went over. We randomly go back to Sugarbaker's.
Yep.
To learn that Maryjo went over there to Hance's without any of them.
Well, he said he wasn't gonna do anything crazy anymore. He did promise her. He said that.
So then she goes. She's in his house, and she's in his bedroom. And they're like, you see the waterfall in the hot tub in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And like music starts playing.
Mm-hmm.
And Hence comes out in the silver and black striped silk robe that every man in the 80s wanted.
I hated it so much.
Uh-huh.
I hated
And
it so much.
he locks her in. She's like, you let me out right now. You let me out right now.
Which, once again, we're at that point in the show where she's still being kind of polite. There would have been a lot of swear words coming out of my mouth at this
And
point.
then he says, I'll give you what you want if you give me what I want.
And then she says,
you know what you are? You're a rapist.
what? Does it have to be like this? Why?
Oh my God.
It's almost like she has her own, like, this moment of like, Oh, now it makes sense. Now everything that everybody's been mentioning to me, all of the conversations I've been having, now it all makes sense, and I'm realizing it for myself. Oh,
And like he pushes her on the bed. She
Yeah.
grabs a vase and hits him upside the head with it. He passes out. And then
JD
she gets
shows
the
up.
key.
and then JD
Yeah.
shows up.
How does he know where Hintz lives?
I mean, it's JD. He works for the Atlanta Braves, so he knows all about Atlanta.
Sidebar.
Sidebar,
Where
yeah.
was JD in the last episode with Suzanne's ex-husband? How that would have been a fun little cameo to have in there too.
I think so as well. Oh wow, like they had have known each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
'Cause
actually would have been really fun.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, it's a little
so
sidebar.
Mary Jo's sobbing. Hintz gets up. JD hits him in the face.
What'd it say? Who are you? What's your name of your dog? What dog?
The boom. Then the other ladies enter.
Yep.
They all go, oh, at the same time. Again, perfect scene to have Anthony with them at this point.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because the only thing that would scare that man worse than being punched in the face would be a black man.
But it's an early episode, so there is no Anthony.
I know.
Anthony, they don't even mention Anthony in this episode at all.
I know. And then they're like, oh, I see you saved Maryjo. Good job, JD. And she's like, well, he didn't exactly save me. And he's like, yes, I did. And I do it again, little lady. Yay, patriarchy.
Yay! Hooray! I'm so happy. That's good stuff.
Julia leaves Hintz a business card that says, never forget, Sugar Baker's always fishes the job.
The
Finn.
end. The end. Somehow. The end.
Did you like this episode, Maim? Whoa, wait, what?
No.
Sorry.
What happened?
Oh, you sound like you were going to say something, but I just went right on into the. Did you like this episode?
Oh yeah, no. No, I didn't. And that's a lot for me to say because I like a lot of them. I thought I was actually I was on the fence, right? And it was all because of Bert. I was like, that little kid for me made me laugh the most, and I was like, But then, what really soured it for me? Not that the whole episode wasn't sour, but what really soured it for me is the last moment where Charlene and Suzanne were still talking about him as if they were debating his attractiveness.
Yes.
I was like,
yes.
These couple of lines here did not need to be in this episode because you guys just completely tried to make light of a really terrible situation just now.
Yep.
I also
go ahead.
Oh, I also thought this would have been a really great crossover episode if Maryjo had actually killed him, and then they could have got Matlock to come on as a crossover episode where be Matlock and the Designing Women. So Matlock could defend her because Matlock took place in the South as well. I thought that would have been great.
Fucking Matlock. God.
I'm an old person, right?
I know. If it was a little bit later on, it could have been diagnosis murder instead.
Oh my God! But that's in California. They couldn't have done that. It's in California.
Yeah, no, I didn't like this episode either, and I'll leave it at that. I think I've been clearly honest about this episode throughout this entire discussion. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
What a terrible end of season episode.
Did you find yourself in Miss Georgia World though?
So my Miss Georgia World this week is the lovely it's the lovely JD Shackelford in his suit. I thought he looked so handsome in that suit, and everybody else's clothes weren't that great. But when he came to like rescue her and he had on like the suit with the jacket, I was like, that's the nicest he's looked the entire season. So JD Shackelford, you are my Miss Georgia World this week.
I'm actually going to give it to Maryjo in the first scene where she comes in
With the skirt ripped?
Yes, before it ripped. She looks a little marmy, but it is the best she's looked yet, which is bad because it's when they were testing fashion on her. So
yeah, everybody else you could tell over the course of the show, like everybody else you could tell that the fashion was already set. It was just her that kept changing her look over and over and over again.
And this to me feels like the Maryjo that we're going to see in the future. So it's like they got the style book right now, right?
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, Maim, we made it. We made it. We made it through the first season. We did. I think our next episode is going to be a very brief little recap. Little recap episode. Just a little quick conversation, y'all. It'll probably be a dear listeners. It'll probably be a shorter podcast next week.
Probably so. Maybe we'll drop a little surprise in there too.
Yeah, that's what we are going. We do have a little surprise happening in October, and it'll be announced in the next episode.
It's going to change the world of podcasting.
So we've got something very minor to talk about, like minimalistic, like white rooms, no furniture. Like that's what we're talking about. We are talking something minor that we are doing.
It's going to change your life, everyone. It's going to change your life. I think our listeners at this point they're like, something about these two doesn't make any sense, but it works. I don't understand.
I don't know if it does, dear listeners. She's kept me trapped in this little virtual box for a long. I happen to be a mime,
and you're gonna stay there too. You're gonna stay there too, Mims.
God damn it! All right, Maim, tell them where they can find. You don't even smoke.
I want to right now, though. I'm smoking a clove cigarette. It's a clove cigarette.
This is not 1997.
It's always 97 with us.
I miss high school. What does that say about me?
I miss my friends from high school. I don't miss high school.
Yes, I miss the coffee shop.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yes.
Auntie Maim Noire.
I lost the Noire in the divorce. It's Auntie Maim now. He took the Noire back. So.
Well, thank God. Tell the dear listeners where the fuck they can find you.
Hello, dear listeners.
Dear listeners!
If you have enjoyed this podcast today,
or even if you haven't.
Yeah, really, we just want the followers. You can follow me on Instagram at auntie.maim. That's MAIM, like I will stab you. Also, you can find us on Instagram at Mims and Maim. Wherever you listen to your podcast, we would love if you could subscribe and leave a review so other people can find out about our silliness that we do each week. And I will throw it over to Weekish. Shut it. And I'll throw it over to Mims now.
So you can find me on the tweeters at designingwomen. You can find our wonderful podcast at Baking Sugar Pod. You can follow us, which is mostly me tweeting, I'm not going to lie, at Mims and Maim.
I've been doing better.
She does the Instagram, I do the Twitter. It's a fair trade. You can find us on Facebook at Mims and Maim. Nobody uses Facebook anymore, people. Use the Twitter. And you can where else? Oh, our Patreon. We still have 0 patrons.
Is that a record? I think that's a record for the longest Patreon without sponsors.
It is. So if you could reach out to us and tell us what special things you would want from us, not sexual favors, as I've got a bad back and Maim's got a bad everything else.
It's true. True. It's true.
She'll just look at you and get inflamed. Yeah, okay, I think that's all, folks. I got nothing. You got something?
Chlamydia? I don't know.
All right, bye, y'all.
Bye.